now that we have the tornado shape, the next thing that we can do is we're going to apply the particle to this tornado. Okay, so make sure this is set to effects, and before you create the particle, you also need to make sure that the particle create option is set to balls. You don't want it to be point, because point will be hard to see when the particle are rotating. So make sure this is set to balls. Then you can proceed with the create the emitter. Right, so create the first one. You can create the second one. If you press play, you'll get something like this. Right, increase timeline. Okay. Now, the next bit that we want is that we want this particle, right, both of them, to follow the shape of this tornado. Right, so we're gonna click this one, that one, and the particle, right, and you can apply this gold feature. Okay, make sure this is set to the default setting. Press apply. Okay, and if you replay the simulation, you'll get something like this. Okay, so the particle are following the shape of the tornado. Now we want the particle to be rigid, because right now when you play it, it's very bouncy, right? So we can go to particle and you go to goal weight and objects, right? Make sure it's set to 0 for both of the particle. And if you replay, you'll get something like this, right? It's very rigid. Now, the setup that you have to do is that the playback setting must be set to 1, right? Make sure it's set to 1 and not any other value, because it might cause some error. Okay, now this is something that we want. Okay, so the next bit that we want is that we want the particle to be not having collision with one another, because right now, as you can see, the particle are bouncing off one another, right? So you need to select this particle and then turn off the collide for both of the particle, right? So when the particle are created, it will just pop there without having any like bouncy, yeah, like this. Doesn't have the bouncy attributes in it. Okay, so this is something that we want. Now, so what we want is that for the next bit is we want to add some script. So if you create, okay, select the particle 1, scroll down, right? Right now, we're going to add some goal attributes for this particle, goal U and goal V. Okay, so we need to create general, right, under add dynamic attributes, and make sure this is set to particle, right, and you select this goal U and goal V, right, and you click add. Okay, as soon as you press add, the attributes are being generated for this particle. Now, do the same thing for second particle. So you click general, select, make sure this is particle, right, not new particle, U, V, add, and now both of these attributes are being created for you. Okay, on its own, like, do nothing, right? So we need to, okay, this do nothing. We need to add some script to it, right? Because right now the particle are stuck in that position, right? Now we want the goal V, right, to have some expression. So you right click and then click create expression. And you can copy, paste, and type the script. So what it does that the particle will randomly generated along this V service, right? And you press create. Okay, do the same thing with particle 1. So you right click on the goal V, create expression, and then you copy this, right? Type that ran 0, 1. Okay, and if you press play, you'll get something like this. Now what it does is that the script will let Maya create the particle in a random manner around this V service. Okay, and if you press play, you'll get something like that. Right, like this. Now the next bit that we gonna create some RAM, right, for this goal U. So if I create, right click, create RAM, right, for both for the particle ramp, and I press replay, right, I'll get something like this. So what the other script do, or what the RAM do, is that you will let Maya create the particle coming from the bottoms up, right, according to the ramp. Okay. Now, right now the particle are being generated in a constant speed. Okay, so what we want is some randomness happening here. So we're gonna edit the lifespan, right, from constant to random range, right, 5 and 1. So what it does is it will generate a random number between 0 to 5, right, and increment by 1. Same thing with this random range. Okay, I press play and I'll get something like that, right? So the particle being generated in a random manner, right? So it's more dynamic. Okay. Now you can also increase the size of the particle, because sometimes like the particle is hard to see. So in this case, you can increase to maybe 1, right? It's really up to you. Okay, but I think 1 is too big for me, so maybe I'm just gonna keep it 0.4 maybe, and also 0.4, right? So not too big, and I'll get something like that, right? Now the next bit that we're going to do is we want a particle to spin, because right now, as you can see, the particle is just like moving from bottom ups, right? Because the tornado are supposed to have a spinning movement. Okay, so you scroll down, right, to goal V, and you right click and create expression. Now in this case, we gonna switch these to run time after dynamics, right? So this is happening like after the particle are being generated, right? So this is the script that we're gonna do. Okay, so every time the time pass, the script will spin the particle 0.015 value, right? So as the time passes, it will increment, so it will make, this is this, yeah, it will make the particle like spin. Okay, great. And do the same thing with the other one. Right click, create expression, make sure this is set to runtime dynamics, right? So which means that it's happening during the simulation time. Okay, press create, close, and if you replay the simulation, you get something like this, right? So as you can see, the particle are spinning, and it's something that we want, right? Now, the next bit there is that we want one of the particle to start from the top and go to the middle, and one of them start from the bottom and go to the middle, because right now both of them are coming from the bottom ups, right? So let's select this end particle 1, and you go to goal U, you right click and edit ramp, right? Because you want one of them to be coming from the top down to the middle. Okay, now let's turn off that one and we switch, right? Let's switch this like that, and we click this error. Then we're gonna switch this from 0 to 0.5, and let's play the particle, right? So as you can see, the particle coming from the top down to the middle. Okay, so let's do a little bit of adjustment for the second particle. So in particle 2, click RAM. You want to make sure like this is coming from this to that, right? Yeah. Okay, now the next bit that we're going to do is that we're going to create a fluid that can be attached to this particle. So I want to stop the video now.